Zhuge Liang uses strategy for the fourth time. Meng Huo is captured for the fifth time. Zhuge Liang personally rode in a small carriage, leading several hundred cavalry to scout ahead. When they reached a river called the Sierra River, they found the current not strong. Yet strangely there were no boats or rafts nearby. Zhuge Liang ordered trees to be cut for rafts, but the wood sank immediately upon touching the water. He consulted Lu Kai, who suggested that upstream there were mountains full of large bamboo suitable for building a bridge. Zhuge Liang immediately sent 30,000 men to cut bamboo. Hundreds of thousands of stalks were transported downstream and used to construct a wide bamboo bridge, strong enough for troops and horses to cross. After the bridge was completed, Zhuge Liang set up defenses. Camps lined the northern bank, using the river as a natural barrier. After crossing, 3 major camps were established on the southern bank, waiting for Meng Huo's attack. Soon Meng Huo arrived with a massive army, wearing rhinoceros hide armor and riding a red ox. He shouted insults before the formation while his soldiers waved weapons arrogantly. Zhuge Liang refused to engage, ordering all troops to retreat into camp and keep the gates shut. Though the generals were enraged, Zhuge Liang insisted on holding position until the enemy's morale weakened. After several days, Zhuge Liang observed that the barbarian troops had grown careless. He summoned Zhao Yun, Wei Yan, Wang Ping, Ma Zhong, Ma Dai, Zhang Yi and others, assigning ambush positions and coordinated plans. He then deliberately withdrew his forces while leaving campfires lit to create the illusion of occupation. The next morning, Meng Huo entered the empty camps and found supplies left behind. Meng Yu suspected a trap, but Meng Huo believed Zhuge Liang had retreated due to urgent matters in Shu. He pursued to the river. At the riverbank, seeing the Shu defenses intact across the water, he hesitated and set up camp, preparing rafts. Unbeknownst to him, Shu forces had already circled behind. That night, strong winds rose and war drums thundered. Shu ambush troops attacked from all sides. Chaos erupted. Meng Huo fought his way out but was intercepted by Zhao Yin and Ma Dai, eventually fleeing into the mountains with only a handful of men. As Meng Huo fled, he saw fire and troops blocking 3 directions, forcing him eastward. Turning a pass, he suddenly saw Zhuge Liang calmly waiting in a carriage. Enraged, Meng Huo charged forward, but the ground collapsed beneath him. It was a hidden pit. He and his men fell in, and were captured by Wei Yan's troops. Thus, Meng Huo was captured for the 4th time. Zhuge Liang did not punish him immediately. Instead, he pacified the other tribal leaders, treating them with kindness and releasing them. Seeing his mercy, many became grateful. Meng Yu was also brought in, reprimanded, and released to persuade his brother. When Meng Huo was presented again, Zhuge Liang questioned him. Meng Huo still refused to submit, claiming he had only been tricked. Zhuge Liang released him once more, even offering wine, asking if he would fight again. Meng Huo replied that only if captured again would he truly submit. Zhuge Liang let him go. After returning, Meng Huo regrouped and consulted Meng Yu. They decided to retreat into a dangerous stronghold, the Tulong Cave, and rely on natural defenses. There, King Duosi explained the terrain. Only 2 paths led in. One could be blocked easily. The other was filled with hazards, poisonous creatures, miasma, and 4 deadly springs. The dumb spring causes loss of speech. The destroying spring burns like boiling water. The black spring causes fatal poisoning. The soft spring weakens the body until death. Duosi believed the Shu army would perish without direct combat. Meng Huo was delighted and waited confidently for Zhuge Liang to fall into the trap. Meanwhile, Zhuge Liang advanced despite the summer heat. Learning of the blocked route, Jiang Wan advised retreat, But Zhuge Liang pressed forward, choosing a remote path guided by surrendered troops. When the vanguard reached a spring, thirsty soldiers drank eagerly. Soon they lost their voices. Wang Ping reported back, and Zhuge Liang realized they had encountered poison. Examining the area, he found it eerily silent and suspected danger. Climbing higher, he discovered a shrine dedicated to Ma Yuan, a Han general. Zhuge Liang prayed sincerely for guidance. Afterward, he encountered an old man who explained the 4 poisonous springs and the heavy miasma. He revealed that to the west lay Wanan Creek, where antidotes could be found. Its waters could cure poison, and a special herb could ward off the miasma. The old man then revealed himself as the local mountain spirit and disappeared. Zhuge Liang followed the instructions, found the hermit at Wanan Creek, and cured the poisoned soldiers. With water and protection secured, the army safely advanced. The hermit later revealed himself to be Meng Jie, Meng Hua's elder brother. He explained that he had long urged his brothers to submit, but withdrew from worldly affairs when they refused. Zhuge Liang admired his character and wished to reward him, but Meng Jie declined all honors and gifts. Returning to camp, Zhuge Liang ordered wells to be dug, but no water was found. That night he prayed earnestly. The next morning, all wells suddenly filled with fresh water, greatly boosting morale. With supplies secured, the Shu army reached Tulong Cave. The enemy was shocked to see them unharmed, as if aided by divine forces. With their plan failing, Duosi prepared for battle. At that moment, Yang Feng, a tribal leader, arrived with reinforcements. Welcomed warmly, Yang Feng offered assistance. During a banquet, dancers entertained the guests. Suddenly, Yang Feng gave a signal. His men captured Meng Hua, Meng Yu, and Duosi. Yang Feng explained he owed his life to Zhuge Liang and sought to repay him. He delivered the captives to Shu camp. Zhuge Liang rewarded him, and again questioned Meng Hua. Still defiant, Meng Hua claimed betrayal rather than defeat. He challenged Zhuge Liang to capture him again at his home territory, Silver Pit Mountain. Once more, Zhuge Liang released him, along with Meng Yu and Duosi, treating them generously. Through repeated mercy, he continued advancing his strategy of winning hearts rather than forcing submission. Summary. This chapter centers on Zhuge Liang's 4th successful capture of Meng Hua and illustrates one of the most intense and strategically complex phases of the Southern Campaign. In the first half, Zhuge Liang demonstrates patience and control, deliberately refusing to engage the enemy at their peak strength. Instead, he uses psychological warfare, holding firm behind defenses, allowing the enemy's morale to decline, and then executing a carefully planned feigned retreat. This maneuver lures Meng Hua into overconfidence, ultimately leading him straight into a coordinated ambush where he is once again captured. The latter half shifts to an even more dangerous challenge: the natural defenses of Tulong Cave. Poisonous springs, deadly miasma, treacherous terrain, and lack of water form a near impenetrable barrier that seems impossible to overcome through conventional means. Yet Zhuge Liang overcomes these obstacles not through brute force, but through a combination of insight, faith, and external guidance, encountering the mountain spirit, receiving help from Meng Jie, and maintaining unwavering resolve. His leadership not only saves his army from environmental disaster, but also turns what should have been a fatal trap into another strategic advantage. Most importantly, the chapter emphasizes Zhuge Liang's long-term vision. Despite capturing Meng Hua multiple times, he consistently chooses to release him. This is not an act of weakness, but a calculated strategy. Zhuge Liang understands that true stability in the southern regions cannot be achieved through repeated military victories alone. If Meng Huo is subdued only by force, rebellion will inevitably return. Therefore, Zhuge Liang aims to break his opponent's will psychologically, to make him sincerely accept defeat. This concept of winning the heart rather than merely winning the battle is the true core of Zhuge Liang's strategy, and this chapter serves as a powerful illustration of that philosophy in action. Knowledge points. 1. The narrative of Meng Huo being repeatedly captured and released, whether described as 4 times, 5 times, or the famous 7 captures and 7 releases, is widely considered a literary embellishment. While Meng Huo may have been a real historical figure, there is no solid historical record supporting such a dramatic sequence of repeated captures. This storyline was likely developed to highlight Zhuge Liang's intelligence, patience, and moral superiority, reinforcing his image as both a strategist and a statesman. 2. The character Meng Jie, depicted as Meng Huo's virtuous elder brother and a reclusive hermit who aids Zhuge Liang, does not appear in reliable historical sources. His role in the story serves a clear narrative purpose: to create a sharp moral contrast within the same family. While Meng Huo represents stubborn resistance and pride, Meng Jie embodies wisdom, humility, and alignment with order. This contrast enhances the thematic depth of the story, but is almost certainly fictional. 3. The portrayal of the southern tribes as a unified force under Meng Huo is a significant simplification. In reality, the southern region during the Three Kingdoms period was highly fragmented, consisting of various tribal groups, local elites, and complex administrative structures. Political control, logistics, alliances, and regional governance all played crucial roles. The novel condenses this complexity into a more straightforward narrative centered around a single leader, making the story easier to follow but less historically accurate.